بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلي وسلم على نبينا محمد وعلى أهله وصحبه أجمعين ما بعد. Logical proofs for the oneness and perfection of Allah Jalla Jalaluhu. The logical argument to demonstrate the uniqueness of the Creator in His most beautiful names, His exalted perfect attribute, His amazing wise actions, and His right to be worshipped alone. By Sheikh Abdurrahman bin Nasir As-Sa'di Rahimahullah, translated Abu Suhaila Umar Queen. Contemplating the creation of the human being and the universe. May Allah show you mercy. Look within yourself. Look at the beginning of your creation, from sperm to a morsel of flesh, until you become a perfect human with complete parts internally and externally. That in this compel and drive you to recognize the Lord who is able to do all things, whose knowledge encompasses everything, who is wise regarding everything He created and made. If of all of creation were to assemble themselves over this sperm that Allah made as the beginning of your creation, in order to transfer it to these various stages, to safeguard it in that fortified habitat, the womb, and then make limbs for it externally, and make inabilities along with hearing, seeing, and intellect, if they gather to develop with such an amazing development, assemble into such a well-structured assembly, organize the body part according to such phrases, arrangement, so that each body part is in its appropriate place. If they got to do that, will their collective knowledge, power, and capabilities allow them to arrive at such a result? Taking such a straightforward look will cause you to arrive at the recognition of Allah's power, magnificence, and oneness. It will lead you to submitting to Him, believing in His scripture and messengers, knowing Him and believing in the final day. Contemplate over Allah's protection of the celestial events, the earth and the worlds they contain, whose full extent is unknown to any save He. Contemplate over his causing it all to remain in existence, and is supplying it with everything it needs to of various means, an astonishing system for its survival. Doesn't that prove for you the perfection of the Lord as well as His Lordship, oneness, vast knowledge, and all-inclusive wisdom? Allah has drawn attention to this clear logical proof, saying, وَمِنْ آيَاتِهِ أَنْ تَقُومَ السَّمَاءُ وَالْأَرْضُ بِأَمْرِهِ. And among His signs is that the heaven and the earth stand by His command. إِنَّ لَا يُمْسِكُ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضَ أَنْ تَزُولَ وَإِنْ زَالَتَا إِنْ أَمْسَكَهُمَا مِنْ أَحَدٍ مِنْ بَعْدِ إِنَّهُ كَانَ حَلِيمًا غَفُورًا. But Allah grabs the heavens and the earth lest they move away from their places. And if they were to move away from the places, there is not one that could grasp them after Him. Truly He is ever most forbearing, oft forgiving. O brother, reflect upon the orbiting celestial bodies and what result of the alternation of night and day. Reflect upon the organization of time by the seasons and its being perfectly structured for the greater good and unlimited benefit for people. Did this happen by chance, automatically without being caused and done by something else? Or is it the case that the one who created and controls that will exact position is the one who created everything in the best way? This is logical evidence that He has drawn attention to by saying, Sun Allah الذي أتقن كل شيء. The work of Allah perfected all things. Look, may Allah guide you to the fact that He gave everything the created appearance appropriate for it, and then guided each creature to what is advantageous, beneficial, and necessarily imperative for its survival. Even untamed animals, minuscule and gigantic, have been inspired and survival, and their sustenance and diet have been simplified and made instinctual for them. Whoever looks at this all-inclusive guidance and astonishing inspiration by which they are directed towards all that benefit them and how it is disseminated throughout creation will come to know the magnificent care of the nurturing guardian Lord, and that He is the Lord, creator and provider of all. He knows His creatures and granted them minds to properly conduct themselves and to repel away harm. That is a clear, tremendous logical evidence for the oneness and perfection of Allah. Allah has drawn attention to what by saying, قال ربنا الذين آتى كل شيء خلقه ثم هدى. Our Lord is He who gave to each being its form and nature, then guided it right. Is in this guidance and inspiration to acquire benefit that harms, and to support and show compassion to their offspring until they develop and can be independent, found within the nature of all variety of animals. Is this compassion and mercy instead within animals towards their children anything other than that, or other than one of the greatest evidence for the vast mercy of Allah, as well as His all-inclusive knowledge and wisdom? Another evidence for Allah's oneness and perfection. Now listen to the video.